I heke mai te whānau o Anne ki Aotearoa, I aia e whātau tonu ana. He nui te rerekētanga, I wainga nui I tōna whānau, ka tahi anō ka tai mai ki tēnei whenua, me te heketanga mai a Darcy I a kāhui maunga.
Well, it was huge really, because it was just my parents and us 4 children, and they didn't have a lot of friends. A lot of the time my father was working night jobs and things. So it was a pretty quiet sort of place. Going up there were so many children, and so we were 21, we got married, which sort of everybody seemed to in those days, as opposed from, you know, these days into the 30s, and well, they don't bother. So we had our first daughter, Lala, and Elaine, our second, and James, our youngest.
Ia Anne ki tōna taha hei pautautoko, I kaha a Darcy ki te whai I tōna pai tawhiti. Kia rongo hoki aia I ngā hua o te whakatūtuki I ērā mea e pupu ake I te whatu manawa. Wehe atu ia I tāna mahi pirihimana, kia noho ia hei kaitoi mahi wā kiki. Mahi ana a Anne I ngā pō ki te whare hono a waia, I tiaki ngā tamariki I Wainganui I Araua.
I met my wife Anne about 40 years ago, and we've been good friends ever since, and that's what I've said to my kids. When you select a partner, select someone who's a good friend, you know, and then learn to understand each other, and then build your life around that friendship. And that's what we've done. We've enjoyed a lot of things overseas, a huge amount of life. It's been full of great things, really, mainly, and we've faced tragedy. So I have a great love for my kids here. We lost my eldest daughter, Lara, tragically, after she had sort of had a bad romance here while we were overseas, but you have to learn to live with those things.
Mai ngā pūtake ka umai te huai ora Iu mai ia papatua nuku Iu mai ia papatua nuku
Yeah, and now I got my granddaughter Ruby. And I know what you're saying when you look at me, because she's the joy of my life at the moment. And I've done a series of paintings on her. But my wife Anne, we're still great friends, and she understands me better than anyone else, really. Well, she tolerates me because I'm a pretty complex person, yeah, but she understands all of that, yeah, and is always there supporting me. So, I mean, the quilts around me is Anne's art form, and she did this one here with the hearts on, and I said, well, I think she did it for one of the nieces and nephews. I said, no, that's mine, you know. That's your gift to me. So we have that sense of loving each other that I think is really important. But she knows how to rub my back nicely, and I mean, I guess treats me a little bit like a teddy bear, I guess, you know. Us big, strong men, we sometimes need a little bit of a hug every now and then.
toi rongonui a Dempsey Bob, no te iwi o Tolton Tlingit o Kānata.
Darcy and I, we lift each other up. You know what I mean? And an artist, okay? You're always giving and giving and giving, and you got to recharge those batteries somehow. And it's spiritual too. You know, we don't talk about it, but you have to recharge those batteries sometimes. You know, and coming here lifts me too and inspires me. You know what I mean? And you got to keep going, keep learning, because what I'm doing is, as artists, you got to go somewhere by yourself where nobody's gone, and it's not easy. I like coming here because it makes us see our culture different. You know what I mean? The similarities, but the differences too. And what's really neat is that we're so close now, you know what I mean? And it's really good to get that support.
Hey you are, uh-huh. You are, 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 hey you are, uh-huh.
You know, like, art is important because it gives you, well, culture. We'll talk about culture, you know. Culture it's what you do. It's what you believe. And I see art as like the conscience of a society. And whatever's happening in the culture is usually happening in the art first. You know, like amongst our people, one of our elders, you know, ancestors, and he was from the prairies, and he said, his name was Louis Riel, and he said that our people, the Native Americans, are going to sleep for 100 years, he said. And the artists are going to wake them up again. And that's what's been happening.
And I
I te tau 2015, I haere tahi te whakāturanga, te aho mutunga kore, me tērā whakāturanga anō, toi Maori ki Amerika, ki San Francisco, Putanoa.
With the Eternal Thread, I was approached by Kath Brown, who was a Ngaitahu weaver and elder, who I'd known for many years, an educator. And I knew Kath was, she was dying, she was very sick, and she came and asked me if, she said she'd been trying for 9 years to put this exhibition together to go up to Sitka, and asked if I could do it for her. So I thought, yeah, no, I'll do this for you, Kath, and I'll do it for Emily and Rangimaria, because they'd tried for so long to get it done, and I knew it was going to be hard, because it's real hard working with our Maori people, you know. They're such strong individuals, both tribally and individually, and they all want things done their own way. So I said to Kath, I have to take a real strong line in this, and I said, I'm going to have to be quite autocratic. I said, but I want to create something that is going to move the Americans, and what I had discovered needed to move the Americans was something that was not only ancient but also contemporary, and it had to have a very strong spiritual content. And because I'd been part of the Maori exhibitions, I said we needed to have the people there as well, you know, and I'm also I wanted to also push the female side too. Quite frankly, this communication between women is an important thing because women are far more dominant than I think a lot of them realise. But the whole concept was to look at a thread of friendship and to go over and develop the friendship with the Native American and the American people and bring back knowledge to our own people. And by doing that, we've woven what I call a whāriki, or a mat of friendship, right up that coast, right into Canada. I think they're friendships that will last for a long time. Yeah, so Eternal Thread was that thread that we cast to weave friendships.
Taku haerenga ki Seattle, ki te whai atu kai whakātu, kai tohu e te iwa, i te taha raranga, me te ropu raranga whatu o Aotearoa. Ko rima o mātou i roti tō mātou nei ropu, i haere atu e ne kore rawa au e ware ki a rātou whakaaro ki te tona mai ki a.
Kawa te whakamarunui o atua. Ko atua he hengi e kuku matapanga i alonga te hengi i alonga te irirangi. Inu mia ki te whakatatu mai te ata. Ko te ingoa te whakakitenga nei. Ko toi Maori ki Amerika. Ko toi Maori ki Amerika.
Tino miharo te haere. I au pikirunga i te rererangi. Te wehinga atu i tāmaki makaurau tai atu ki San Francisco. Te tainga tu ki reira, ia mātou e tau heke ana ki te whenua. Ka pāmai ki au, ko tai au ki te wāhi o ngā iwi o reira, o ngā iniana. Pirangi au ki te tangi. Ina ki te rongo au i te ruwairua o rātou, e piki mai ana i ngā rākau teitei. Ia au i titiro whānui ki te whenua, te taunga tu ki reira, puta atu ki waho, tai atu ki te wāhi e noho ana mātou, kei te rongou te pātoto pēni ana i roto i au. Kare au moho e aha i pēnei ana, pēnei ni kata ngā taramu. Ana ka kōrerau tēnei kōrero ki te tio a kua, kei te rongou te iwi nei, kei te rongou i a tātou e hari i roti te whare nei, piki ki tō tātou nei, kōpai moi. Tēnei pēni ana. Ka kime, ko tēnei te wāhi tapu kato o rātou ngā tangata whenua. Mai reira, ka tau mo te wāpoto, ana ka whakamārama tō mātou nei haerenga, ka tatari au. Ka inoi au, tuku atu tōku nei karakia kia rātou. Te pōwhiringa mai i roto i tēnei i au e rongo ana. Koine tāku te pōwhiri o rātou ki a. Te tainga tu te wā ka haere mātou ki te Burke Museum. Ka haere mai, koine tāku i ki te ia Darcy mōku, tana ngā kaunui. Ko ngaro te pirihimana i roto i aia. Ki te au te tū i roto i aia tōna matua a hemi. No te mea ko hemi, te rangatira i tōku wā i Waitara, e kaha tonu aia. Ana tēnei wā kei te titiro kia Darcy.
one side and Maori on the other?
Or mix them if you like.
Mix it? Yeah, mix it.
Okay.
Mix it.
Angi tūana a toi Maori ki Amerika. Nā reira I whakahonoretia e te taone nui o San Francisco.
So that's recognized August 4th, 2005 as Toi Maori, the Eternal Thread Day in San Francisco. We're honored to be here.
Noi anō, ko te tirohanga whānui, kia whakau, kia titi ki te ngāka o te iwi whānui, a te aho mutunga kore me ona kaitoi.
We have a huge amount in common with Native American people. And I see a lot of my Native American friends, I see very much like my family now, and there's some wonderful people over there. And I thought, well, we need to focus on developing those relationships and making this their home, and for us to go over there and visit them a lot.
Ka uki anō ki Portland, ki Oregon, ki tērā wai. I reira I kite ai, I reira I rongo ai. Te aroa o te tangata whenua o tērā wai. Ka manakitia mātou e tērā iwi ki taku mōhio ko te Silets, ko te iwi o Silets. Ka manakitia mātou, ka ata waitia mātou e tērā iwi. E tete I o aua wānau o reira ko tāna ingoa ko Bud. Ko Bud me tana wa ine me e te iatu o tau wānau tonu.
The connection with the Eternal Thread and Darcy and all the folks from down there. We got a call from Rebecca Dobkins out at Willamette University, and she asked me to come out and to discuss this exhibit and what was going to go on. So I came out and I met Darcy out there and Anne for the first time, and actually it was just us, I think, and a representative from Grand Round, and we discussed kind of, and I thought, yeah, well, this will be really nice, you know. It was nice, and they were very nice people. And so as it went on, Rebecca started explaining things to me. She said they want permission to come here, and I was just stunned. I thought, nobody's ever asked us permission to do anything. They just put us here and tell us how it's going to be. You know, I mean, these were the first people that ever said, hey, do you mind if we come to your land? Is it okay with you? And I was just stunned. I mean, Cheryl and I just couldn't believe that there was actually somebody out there who would ask permission. We're so used to other things happening to us. Okay, this is the 229 that goes directly to Siletz.
So this must feel like home now?
Oh, yes. No, it's felt like home since we come over the summit of the Coast Range.
I see.
Actually, it feels like home when you come over the summit of the Cascades.
Ana ka aria mātou ki tō rātou kāinga. I reira rongo ai I te aroa o tau iwi ki tō rātou ao. Ka aria mātou ki tō rātou ware roa, ware poro rākau, ware nui, nā me te mi aroa no ki tērā ware. Ko tōna anga kei roto rā no I te whenua. Ana I tō kuu tangatu ki roto I tau ware, kore te tangata kuu noi o nei, ka tū ki te kua, ka huri, te huringa atai ka kuu ki te ware. Engari tō mātou kuu tangatu ka rongo I te ao o ngā mātua, ka rongo ko te wairua, ka rongo I te wairua o ngā mātua ki roto I tērā ware.
One of the things that before you come to a house, you have to have a good heart when you come in here. We really discourage anybody being in here who has a problem with somebody, an animosity that they may be carrying, something that they should settle in their lives. And those hard feelings in your heart can't be inside here. They can't mix with the blessings that are made in this house. So we ask that things be settled, and if people have any problem like that, that they not even come around. If they can't settle it, they need to stay away until they're pure in heart and can come in with a good heart.
Nā ka mutu pia, me te mea no ki ka kope me te whakaroa no ki pia I pērā hoki pia o mātua tupuna. Koe tā wā I atu I a tātou, kei kona tonu rātou e tūhono ana I a tātou.
When Maori people and American Indian people sit down together, it shouldn't surprise anybody that we automatically understand each other because we do have that similar political and cultural history. What's going on now, this conversation that Darcy and other people down there, through the artists in New Zealand, that this conversation is really exciting because